One of the things you mentioned, so I'm skipping to one of my later questions, was about how you handle situations. So I saw this old interview where the interviewer asked you about how you felt about not being part of the winning end of managing Madonna, and your response was amazing. Your response was that you were on the winning end because your goal was to discover, manage, and develop a superstar, which you did. And it's such a positive, optimistic mindset. Where does that come from?
Well, first off, there's always a mourning period when you lose something, okay? And this was my dream, okay? At 18 years old, I sat in front of the dinner table with my mom and dad. I just got my job at Columbia. It was a little older than that. I was 20. I just had gotten my job at Columbia Records. And my father's, I was spouting about everything about artist manager, da, da, da. And I said, I want to manage the biggest star in the world someday. I said it at 20 years old. And my father looked at me, nice Italian guy, he was a cop, but I mean, it was an era where women didn't do what I was doing, He looked at me, he said, stop talking stupid, okay? Do your job, find a man, get married, have kids. Down the era when I did finally manage Madonna, he did apologize. But, that's the yeah, did I want to go through that whole process with Madonna? And do I think that there were some of the missteps that I've seen could have been avoided? Of course, Have I on occasion armchair quarterbacked her career? Of course I do. But what never leaves me is her best interest.
Right.
I hate when they get slammed like that. Yeah. Bob Lefferts, and I really enjoy his newsletter. I really do. He'll diss women kind of from an ageist point of view, and then in that same conversation, he won't diss Mick Jagger. He'll talk about the Rolling Stones still have a sizzling bass line and stuff like that. That to me, because I had the Madonna situation, that gave me a platform to make some changes. I did get, in a lot of ways, I got the best of the situation after my mourning period, where I was. It took a little while for me to be recognized, because of the lawsuit and the settlement and all. Everybody was kind of afraid to be nice to me because they would have had to diss Madonna at that point in time. And this is indicative of the industry. People will go where the power is. Doesn't matter whether the power is right or wrong, but they'll go to it. And and they don't want to be on the wrong side of power. So I had to wait a little while. I kind of, because I got into a fight with Madonna, and Alan it was Grubin and Endersky, like the ultimate lawyer of the stars, right? People kind of laid low for a while. But then Christopher Anderson's book came out. And Anderson lays her success at my feet and says, there wouldn't be a Madonna, there wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for this woman that put her on the right track, got her the great musicians. Because I did. I mean, I turned around to the bass player of David Bowie, the keyboard player and composer for Phil Collins. I mean, amazing people I put together because I had them from the studio. She'd never worked with really amazing performers like that. And she clicked the minute she got all of the tools she needed. So I got the best of it. I completely got the best of it. And my career continued to take off. And, it was like, call Camille, she'll know how to handle this artist. Call Camille, she'll know how to do this. And I had I continue to have a great career.
And having ethics like that and being, even after your mourning period, like, of course, everyone's allowed to have that, but you still came out a positive, optimistic, powerful person. And people want to work with people like that in the long term. Because like you said, you can call anyone that you've ever worked with and they know who you are and they trust you.
Yeah, exactly. And that in and of itself was worth the investment of my time, effort, and energy. And you could say everything. Maybe I would have won bigger if I was a bit more of a slime bucket, but I'm real content, with what I have. I've helped launch 3 very successful companies. I'm in the process of working with another organization that's New York and LA based, they're going to do astronomical things, and they're an amazing entertainment company, and they're amazingly financed. So they are going to kick ass and take names. I'm allowed to say that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I can't curse, right?
Yeah, as much as you want.
Okay, good. So I still get those opportunities. You know, I started coaching the CEO, and I coach a lot of CEOs. And all of a sudden he said to me, would you be up for doing more consultancies? And I said, what do you have in mind? And he explained it to me. So now I'm helping to shape another company. That's such a gift.
Yeah.
You know, for someone like me, it's such a blessing to take everything that I've learned over 3 decades and be able to apply it. But I will say this, and this goes back to my devotion and dedication to new people coming onto the scene. I am still learning, and you continue to learn.
Yep.
Deal with
always
technology.
Always a student.
Oh, you're always a student. You're a student until you close your eyes for the last time. You know. So now with technology, you know, we're dealing with technology now. We're dealing with the fact that the pandemic has pushed everything online. Right. How do we deal with live performance? I've been working with a lot of artists and a lot of companies to help adapt to what's going on here, and exist and survive. You know, and it's extraordinary to have that stimulation in your life, and I'm very thankful and grateful for the opportunities that I get. You know.